Today we're going to travel to a restaurant that has the biggest Betty Boop collection in any restaurant ever. Everywhere you look, there are 6 or 7 Betty Boops looking back at you. And that is the Island Cafe in Island Lake, Illinois. Now, I did some research and I watched a couple Betty Boop cartoons, and I am concerned that possibly Betty Boop has gone undiagnosed for possibly a brain tumor. Because, I mean, the hat doesn't even come close to fitting on her head. Betty Boop, a cultural icon of the 1920s, came to life in 1929 after Max and Dave Fletcher bankrupt a previous animation company and formed Fletcher Studios in Miami, Florida. At first, they produced the bouncy ball films, you know, like if a sing-along and the ball bounces on the word you're supposed to sing next. And their first actual animated cartoon with characters was a dog named Bindle, and they were pitching Bindle to be their Mickey Mouse. Bindle's girlfriend was another dog character named Betty Boop. Betty Boop slowly turned out of a dog into a human character, and her first feature was called Stopping the Show. At this point, they had abandoned the character Bindle. Betty Boop had 90 episode cartoon shorts, and her character was mostly followed by adults. Out of those 90, there was one color feature, and it was called Poor Cinderella. A repeating storyline in the Betty Boop cartoons always featured a creepy male character who tried to sexually harass Betty Boop. So eventually the actress who played Betty Boop and looks exactly like Betty Boop, even with that big head, her name was Helen Kane, and she sued Fletcher Studios for infringement because she said that the Betty Boop character was ruining her own career. But it turned out that Helen Kane took the baby voice and the actual catchphrase boop boop bidoop from another performer named Esther Jones, also known as Baby Esther. In 1939, the Motion Picture Production Code came out, and that's what pretty much killed Betty Boop, is they had to lengthen her skirt, stop showing her changing and topless with maybe a Hawaiian lei around her neck, and the adult fan base kind of died off. They tried to pitch it to kids with new storylines, and that didn't really work out. Colorized versions of the original cartoons were produced pretty low quality, and I believe they appeared in a Betty Boop VHS called Betty Boop for President. This is what led to the Betty Boop resurgence of merchandise. The cartoon itself never took off again. They actually planned to make a new cartoon in 2008 that never actually came to be. I believe 30 of the 90 Betty Boop cartoons are in the public domain right now, and I actually watched the Halloween one last night, and it was actually very entertaining, and you can see why people were attracted to the cartoon itself. It had its own very interesting style. Peace and love worldwide. Live your life before your life lives you, and keep on smiling.